YouTube viewers, Rectangular back, this time with another review. We have the Revoltech Takeya Gundari Myoo. That could be Gundari Myoo. I'm not exactly sure, I don't speak Japanese, so please forgive me if I screwed up that pronunciation. Now this is number 15 in the series. If you seen previously, I did reviews on the Ashura, which I can't remember which number that one is in the series. I want to say it was like number 5. Anyway, so there you can see series 15, made by Revoltech, and just got this from Japan. Very, very nice figure. Really love this series. I have both the wood grain version of the Ashura and the painted version. I believe this one only comes in the painted version. And the new figures from this wave are the Jushimen Kanon Fudo Myoo, and this one is the Gundari Myoo. These are Buddhist deities and come with lots of really nice accessories. Love the sculpt and paint on these, but enough discussion about it in the package. Let's go ahead and take it out of the package so you can get a closer look. Very quickly, I just wanted to show the figure still partially in the packaging, just to show off how great Revoltech packs these figures. It does come with a plastic shell that snaps over this black piece of plastic that the figure sits inside. And you can see here we have a really nice clear stand. We have the decorative stand. We have this spear. We have this sickle, I want to call it. We have a little case to put all the accessories in. We have this small accessory here, and a piece of plastics to help support his head. He did have a plastic like skirt that went in between the lower half and the upper half to avoid from paint rub during shipment, but I already removed that, and did have a piece of plastic bag material to protect the paint from getting rubbed on the hard plastic shell that was sitting on the back of the figure, which I removed just so you can get a better look. Okay, so let's take him out of the shell here and show him off a little. Here we've got the figure out of the packaging with all its accessories shown. Of course, like all Revoltech figures, it comes with this nice little case to put all the accessories in. It's always nice. Stick that off to the side. And you probably can't see that too clearly on camera. A nice little clear stand that it comes with. It's got 2 peg holes for its feet. Stick that off to the side. And here's the spear. Really love the paint detail on the sculpt. Very well done. It's got gold, green, and like a brown, bronze, and blue. Really, really nice paint detail on that. Now these are segmented, so it comes apart. You got that tiny little peg on there, which pops into the hole. Now I have one of the main issues I've had with this figure is that the holes to hold the accessories are large enough on one end, but they don't seem to be large enough on the bottom end. And I don't want to force, since the paint detail is so nice on these, I don't want to force it through the hand hole and then scrape the paint off. So probably going to need to widen up the hole in the bottom of their hand in order to get them to hold the accessories. So again, we have this piece here, and the bottom handle pops off. You can see that. So that you can slide it into his hand and then put the bottom back on the accessory like that. Very nice. Again, same amount of paint detail on there, really nice sculpt. And then we have this little pinwheel, which unfortunately just sits in his hand. It sits in this open hand here. The thumb doesn't, or the pinky finger doesn't seem to protrude enough to where it'll actually stick in there. So that's my only other major complaint, is that you just kind of have to balance it in there. It doesn't really stay too well. No, I may end up just using some sticky tack, keep it in, as long as it doesn't damage the paint. Now let's get into the figure itself. This is the decorative stand that it comes with, and unfortunately, since he's so top heavy and the rear of the figure seems to hold most of the weight, you really have to angle these Lotus pieces downward and then have his knees bent so that he's kind of leaning forward to counterbalance all the weight from the back. See, he's already trying to tip over. You know, he's got all those arms which are really adding to the weight factor. Flip that around, see if that can help balance him a little better. But really love the sculpt and paint detail on the entire figure. Is really well done. This is the one accessory I was able to get in. I just got the top half. Let's see if I can get. I'll just pull the hand off. Now, if you're not familiar with Revoltech figures, you are supposed to be able to remove the hands. They're all on ball pegs like this. Excuse me. And see, it's such a tight fit there. I'm just afraid of screwing up the paint. Pop that in. That's really well sculpted. I like the paint on that. Stick that off to the side. So, see those holes, pretty tight. This one is actually the largest one I could find of the several that he comes with. He's got 1, 2, 3 accessory holding hands, besides this one that pinwheel just sits in. The rest, this one's just a pointing hand. This one looks like you might be able to hold the spear or one of the other accessories just halfway in his hand there. I do need to do a little research because I know that in Hinduism different poses symbolize different things. So he would be holding certain objects in certain positions for whatever mood he was trying to portray. So I don't want to just go nilly-willy throwing any accessory into any one of his hands. You know, as a amateur student of anthropology, I want to try to respect the culture that this figure comes from. So I just want him to be as accurately portrayed as possible. So I'm just going to spin him around real quick so you can get a. I really love the fur It's supposed to be, looks like a tiger. You can see the tiger stripes on the front there. And this is an individual piece. Just like on the Ashura, the pieces of clothing are on their own joints, so it doesn't hinder the articulation. You can see on the back here how these are on the little ball joints, so they can move freely without hindering the articulation on the figure. This whole piece should be on its own separate joint as well. Yes. And I'm just going to take him off of this display stand and take a look at that real quick. Now, since he is so top heavy, he's going to be a little bit challenged to get to stand up, so bear with me on that. Let's see if I can get him in a wide pose there. Okay, don't fall over. So this thing is pretty cool. It's got a peg hole for each foot, and basically these are on ball. These things are ratcheted, which I haven't seen on my previous Revoltech figures from this line, which is pretty cool. It really helps, I think, with trying to balance such a top-heavy figure, that these won't just flop over. I'm glad that they added that ratcheting feature. So those are supposed to be Lotus flowers, I believe, and I really like the rock detail on that. Really well done. Okay, I'll stick that off to the side and let's get into the figure itself. Pan down. So as you can see, he does have 4 arms. Each arm has a snake on it, and actually his legs do as well. All his arms and legs have a snake and a bracelet. Very, very cool. And he's got the 2 snakes on the front there as well. You can see that. You can see the little eyes and the mouth on the snakes. Very cool. Love that. Great attention to detail. Really like that tiger skin that he's wearing. Excuse me. And of course, you got the peg holes on the bottom of his feet. He did have some sort of strange, like, paper residue, like he had a sticker on the bottom of his foot. Mostly scraped off. I don't know if you can see all the paint shading detail on his skin. It's blue and like a dark gray or black wash. Hopefully that's showing up on camera. These are really nice ratcheted. This looks like an improvement over previous Revoltech figures. I know that a lot of people complain about the joints on Revoltech, that they just fall over, so I think this ratcheting technology is new. It's very nice. So I just absolutely love all the paint detail on this guy. You can see his big belly there, the big belly button, and his chest is a lot darker than most of his body, and the sash moves out of the way. He's got a individual sash and a big necklace that are both posable. Unlike my Ashura, it doesn't look like his earrings move, which is fine. And he does have an individual neck joint and a head joint, so you can get him looking in any direction you want, looking very far up and very far down. So I really love that. And like I said, this is ratcheted, so it's really helps keep him from flopping around too much or getting worn. And you can see on the main arms he's got these hands with the three pointed fingers. And on the back, see how he's got these armbands on his upper bicep on every one of the arms. Really well sculpted and painted. Very cool. Attention to detail there. And the pinwheel does remove. This one's on 2 ball pegs, so you can actually move it quite a bit. The other one, my Ashura, only has a single ball peg. This is very cool. You can move it way down if you want, and you can rotate it completely out of the way, which is very cool, and it will pop off. I'm not going to do it right now, but you can remove it from the probably from his back and from the top of the ball peg. See it in his hair, it's kind of red and brown. It's got some different shades in there, which is very cool. And I really like the flame sculpts on that pinwheel as well. And just check out that head sculpt. Love those big fangs. From the little bit of research that I did about the deity that this figure is based upon, he's supposed to be kind of like an enforcer or protector. He's supposed to be a slayer of demons, dragons, and devils, and he's also supposed to basically force you to back on the path to enlightenment if you are going astray. He's kind of like an avenging angel type of character in more Western religions. So, he's not to be toyed with. That's why he's got all the different arms, so he can manipulate a lot of different weapons at once. So, very, very cool. Love the articulation. Like I said, it is a pretty top-heavy figure, so it is a little bit difficult to pose at times. You just have to work at it, but really love the figure overall. Like I said, I'll have to work at the hands to try to get the accessories to fit in there a little better, but I think once I work on it a little, they will be nice and snug, which is better than having them falling out all the time. For those of you who are not already familiar with Revoltech figures, I'm going to quickly go over the articulation on this guy. Revoltech is basically based on a dual ball peg technology, so his waist has a ball peg underneath there. I don't know if you can see that, probably not, so that he can fully rotate and lets him hinge kind of back and forth or up and down a little bit. The torso does not really appear to be on its own joint. It looks to be one solid torso piece, and each one of the arms has got a ball peg in the shoulder and in the bicep and in the hand, so you can pull these hands right out of the peg and swap them, move them around if you want. So it pegs in there, and then it pegs into the hand itself, which is not supposed to remove that part. So it can fully rotate. And be hinged up and down in any direction. And that's the same with all of these. Now it does have accessory holding hand on 3. Has 3 different accessory holding hands, and then the 2 hands that have 3-fingered pose. then pointing hand up there, pointing hand that's closed, pointing hand that's open with the thumb kind of hooked out. And I think we already went over the pinwheel. It's on a double ball peg. And we went over the neck, which is also on the head is on a ball peg, and then the neck is on a ball peg as well. Same with the legs. You got a ball peg at the knee and a ball peg at the upper part of the leg. It's looks more like a hinge. Actually, it is a peg, but not the same kind of peg. It doesn't quite rotate as much, mostly because of the sculpt. But you have a ball peg at the knee and a ball peg at the wrist, which it has a really nice pivot to it. You can see that rotating. And unlike, like I said, the Ashura, this is ratcheted, so I think it'll really assist with keeping him being able to maintain a pose. So I really like that. Here we've got the figure holding all of his accessories, and I don't think this is the proper way to do it, but just wanted to quickly show it what he looks like holding all the items. Just have the spear just kind of halfway in there in his open hand, and the axe that he has is not all the way through his hand, otherwise it would have the handle sticking out through the bottom. But I have no doubt that I'll be able to get them all in there. I just have to work on the figure a little bit. Alright, hopefully you guys liked the video and that you share with your friends. Please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, I hope that you will, and let me know what you think. Please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear back from you. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.